Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having a Scorpio Sun and a Scorpio Ascendant in a natal chart. Now, having this is obviously a double dose of Scorpio energy, and when you have the same sign for your sun sign as your rising sign or ascendant, it indicates there's no duplicity. There's no real subterfuge. What you see is what you get, essentially. What the person is projecting outwardly as far as their outward demeanor is the same as what is going on inside, represented by the sun sign. Now, this person can be very strongly enamored with investigating mysteries, emerging victorious, perhaps maybe through subtlety or through their own their willpower. They This could be somebody that can be doubly incisive, um, someone that is really exceptionally resilient, a person that has really just such a double dose of the Scorpio indomitable spirit, and really there's someone that possesses a lot of this inordinate willpower. A person that could be very exceptionally secretive and mysterious as well. Scorpios can be rather complex to others, perhaps even enigmatic to some degree, and that having this double dose makes this person someone that can be really maybe hard to grasp or understand by others, since you have this double dose of this formidable Scorpio energy. Now, when we look at the sun sign and rising sign, the sun sign represents our basic wants, while the rising sign or ascendant can be the manner or method in which one attains these basic wants. Now, the basic wants of a Scorpio sun can be things connected with power, control, transformation, regeneration, digging deep, solving mysteries. Sex I consider up there with Scorpio, because even though sex can figure prominently in the life scheme of any of the 12 zodiac signs, I think it's more pronounced with Scorpio. So I consider that a strong basic want for the sign Scorpio. And really the other thing can be maybe some other things, maybe others' resources, and just finding secrets out. And really, you look at this, and the thing about this is trying to attain these basic Scorpio sun wants. With this having the Scorpio ascendant, it could indicate that this may be attained through a lot of emotional intensity, through a lot of Scorpio resourcefulness. This could be the person that could be investigative, and is able to do so by a lot of Scorpio tenacity and willpower, and being resilient if they hit a stumbling block in some investigation or anything connected with Scorpio basic wants, such as finding perhaps that ideal sex partner. Issues connected, maybe gaining some kind of power or control, whether it's through a position or otherwise. This person can have tremendous bounce back ability in doing so. And this person may attain also one or more of these Scorpio basic wants, perhaps in connection with the Scorpio like profession, such as psychology, some kind of investigation, forensics, police detective work, psychiatry, something connected with the astrology, the occult, supernatural, even such as a transformation can come perhaps through maybe their own for knowing themselves psychologically, understanding themselves. It could even come in a very intense and passionate way, and it could come perhaps through others' resources, since that is connected with Scorpio as well. And this person can find also maybe a rebirth from one of the professions that I had talked about before. And when you look at this, it's important to look at if there's an aspect that is made between the Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Ascendant, is this could show how the energy can work. Now, if you have a conjunction between the Scorpio Sun and Ascendant, this even gives more intensification. It's still a strong emphasis of Scorpio energy, even if it's not in conjunction. But if it is, this intensifies it even more. And so, for example, let's say you have the Scorpio Sun at 3 degrees, the Scorpio Ascendant at 5 degrees. That would be a conjunction. And this could indicate perhaps even stronger vitality and energy and endurance and stamina than is otherwise indicated. And this combination may be one that can be maybe a fairly nearly inexorable combination anyway, because you have it's co-ruled, Scorpio's co-ruled by Mars, and this person can come across maybe as even indefatigable. They can just work more tirelessly than a lot of other people are able to. Now, another aspect that can take place is a minor aspect. Let's say that the Scorpio Sun is at 0 degrees and the Scorpio Ascendant is 29 degrees. You could have a semi-sextile aspect, which is auspicious and positive, but it's minor. So it does have some positive integration with this, but not as much as far as compared to a major aspect. So anyway, the thing also to look at, see what house that the Sun in Scorpio resides in, as this can show where that energy of that Scorpio Sun can be may be injected into. If this is, say, if you have the Scorpio Sun in the 12th house, this could indicate perhaps that emotional intensity and that need for power control can be over the person's private life, hidden matters, things done in seclusion, and it could indicate perhaps a lot of resourcefulness, perhaps in something connected with spirituality or the metaphysical, perhaps, and putting a lot of perhaps emotional energy, emotional intensity into matters connected maybe even with those that are less fortunate, such as the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed. Now, if the Sun is placed in the 1st house, even though double Scorpio can indicate one that can be rather mysterious and introverted and secretive, this could indicate that this person may be a little bit more attention-seeking than the typical Scorpio personality. And also it would even, because if you have a Sun in the angular house, and the 1st is an angular house, this would come out, it would figure strongly in terms of perhaps that need perhaps for attention, and the focus being perhaps on this person very strongly, and their emotional intensity might come out in matters pertaining to their outlook and connected with their first impression that they make on others. And there may be some need for some notoriety and recognition as well, and maybe perhaps with some connected with Scorpio-like interests. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the Sun in Scorpio and the Ascendant in Scorpio in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the Sun in Scorpio and a Sagittarius Ascendant in the natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.